What's going on, guys? It's the Mana Shark here, and today I'm going to bring you another deck tech. This is of my my mono blue control deck. It is a really cool deck. I haven't run into any deck that's similar to it, so that's something I guess to be proud of. Yeah, it's a fantastic deck. Has a great matchup against mono black devotion. It takes a lot of practice, but definitely worthwhile. It is a fantastic deck. So we're just gonna jump right into it. So we're gonna start off with 6 Scrylands. This island's actually a proxy right here. Doesn't matter what color, they just have to be blue. So yeah, something about this deck is it's also pretty close to what you're going to want to actually play post-rotation, which is pretty cool. 3 Mutavaults. You don't have to use Mutavaults, but they really do win games. As you can see from Pro Tour M15, you don't really need win conditions when you have a Mutavault because it can be your win condition. So that's something to keep in mind. Then to combat opponents' Mutavaults, especially against the new planar cleansing version of the blue-white control deck, we have 2 Encroaching Wastes. These cards are fantastic. They take out Underworld Connections, Mutavaults, and just throw like the Naya aggro decks off their mana. Just so good. So that's something to keep in mind. And then 16 Islands, something you don't see a lot of, just a ton of basic lands, especially in a blue deck. But yeah, 16 Islands. I feel like it's the perfect balance. 6 Scrylands, 5 non-basic colorless lands, and 16 Islands. I don't run into mana problems ever, which is good. Alright. Then to start off with the creatures, 3 Master Waves. I know what you're thinking. This isn't a mono blue devotion deck, but he's very important to protect the next card, the centerpiece card of the deck. Probably the future of the next standard. 4 Prognostic Sphinx. This guy is a home wrecker in block. He is just so powerful and amazing against any matchup, and mono black can't take him out. And you're going to always have extra lands from all the cards you're drawing to pitch him. Why am I using Master Waves? Because even if it's just for 1, he's good. He's good against the mono red decks which are running around. And he's good against mono black because he gives you something to sacrifice to Devour Flesh to help protect your Prognostic Sphinx. Also, he can win because oftentimes towards the end of the game, you'll control 2 Prognostic Sphinx, play a Master for 5, and Master is going to help you get there too. So those are some of the creatures. And then our last creature is, of course, Aetherling. Yeah, Aetherling is just a win condition. It's really hard to lose if you play him at the right time, if you leave mana open. You're never in a rush to play Aetherling. You just kind of drop him when you feel like it. There's very few matchups where he's bad. 2 Voyage's End. Voyage's End is alright. Bouncing a creature, scrying through your deck, finding what you need. And 3 Cyclonic Rifts. Originally I had 3 Voyage's Ends and 2 Rifts, but Cyclonic Rifts are just, they're better against monsters and the Planeswalker decks running around, so I thought that was very important to have. 1 Elixir of Immortality, originally not in the deck list, but it's very important against the control deck that you can keep going through your deck just as they can. Even though they're going to be at absurd life totals, you don't want to lose the game just because you're out of gas. So, and it's also not really expected. It's pretty good against the aggro matchup. And then for only removal, 3 Ratchet Bombs. They're not fantastic, but they are pieces of removal. Very good against, you know, the devotion decks like Burning Tree Emissaries. Amazing against Pack Rat. Elspeths. So yeah, it's slow, but gets the job done. 3 is the right number. 4 is a little bit too much. Then we have 4 Nullify. Nullify doesn't really see a lot of play. It's awful against the control deck, don't get me wrong, but it's great against mono blue, great against mono black because it gets their creatures and their connections, and yeah, just good against any aggro deck, really. Most importantly, though, it counters connections, which is the best card against you in control. And then, for Dissolve, you know, just counter anything and scry, pretty nice. And, 1 Syncopate, I rock the old school one. Just randomly good, and having a singleton copy, they usually don't see it coming, it ends up being 2 mana 4 spike or something. Just good. And it exiles a creature, which is sometimes relevant. And then for our draw suite, we have 4 Divination. Yeah, just good. Draw cards. Even though it's not a crazy card advantage, we need some of it. And then finally, our Sphinx's Revelation. We have 3 opportunities. Opportunity, it may not be as great as Sphinx's Rev. It's definitely something that carries, and you go end of turn, 6 mana, draw 4 cards. Fantastic. And it usually gives you a few lands to pitch to Prognostic Sphinx towards the end of the game. Yeah, just a great card. Now we're going to go through the sideboard of the deck. Fun fact, this deck was actually stolen at one point, and then they tried selling it to a store. And the store, I called all the stores in the area, the store caught them right away and shipped it to me. So that was fantastic, because I was on vacation. There was no way I was expecting to get it back. So we have 2 Jace Architect of Thought and 2 Jace Memory Depths. Alright, so they're both really good against control. Memory Depth is way better, but the thing is, Detention Sphere is just too good against us in control. We do have Ratchet Bombs for it, but yeah, we don't want to run into a Detention Sphere problem. So that's why I felt like a 2/2 split was good. Also, Jace Architect of Thought is much better against the aggro matchups. So yeah, I just thought a 2/2 split was right. It's been doing really well for me. Jace Memory Adept, you're mainly gonna +1 unless their Sphinx is revving a lot and you want to try to mill their Elixir, which also works. 3 Tidebinder Mages. Monsters is a pretty common deck in most metagames, and just great card. Maybe they could Pelucranos it, but they don't really have anything else besides that. So it's very good. One more Aetherling. I'm thinking of maybe taking it out for a Pithing Needle against Nissa Ravane. That I need to think about. Besides that, just another Aetherling is pretty funny. Before I had a second Aetherling, I actually rocked Tromokratis, which was hilarious. And then, against the mono-red decks running around, we have 2 Staff of Mind Magus and another Master of Waves. This is a really hard matchup for us, but given our sideboard, it'll definitely help us get through. Because having 4 Master of Waves and Staffs and Prognostic Sphinx, they really can't deal with our creatures game 2, so just great. And then finally, against so many different kinds of decks, whether it be control or against like a red-white burn deck, usually you're going to board out your Master of Waves for these, and like one other card. 3 Negates and 1 Dispel. I like the split because just the advantage of catching someone off guard with only 1 mana is so worth it, and it happens so often. Negates pretty much counter everything Dispel wants to counter. The only difference is against mono black, it doesn't counter connections, but Nullify is strong enough that you don't really need to sideboard these in against mono black unless they're rocking a certain version. So yeah, this is my mono blue control deck. The initial list was built by Michael Flores, a very good deck builder, who's been at it for years, just building like these very good rogue decks. And I kind of tweaked it to fit my metagame, and also it's pretty cool because he made this deck like months ago, and it is still holding so strong. And there's not even like new cards from Journey into Nyx I put in or M15. It's just strong how it is. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoy this deck. Sorry it's not budget friendly. When the new standard turns around, I will definitely have budget friendly decks. Hopefully I have an update of my red deck wins deck. I have a few cards coming in the mail. Maybe some play testing. Who knows? I'm going off to college, so once again, rock year. I'll upload when I can. Yeah. Alright, this is Matashark. Peace out.